Over your time, first we're going to play Borka's really bad music to let you know that you're over time. And if you go really over time, we have a giant shepherd's hook that we keep hidden over there. And we're just going to grab you and rip you off stage, okay? So, with all that being said, everybody please give it up for your first reader tonight, Emma Rose.
At number 6, so I wouldn't read first, but okay. Okay, this one doesn't have a name. Some witches hide under bonnet and high-collared shirt where the noose tightens and a sister swings. Dusting her traced hands, the laundry hung to dry like me, blood dried around my neck. Gather with the sisters, coven. Shh, we sold her out. We weren't found out. Shh. Her ghost now will haunt us now, sister, witch, bitch. She was a brave little thing, but her truth serum made them blanch. A church elder, I expect, but a sister's knife drives in deeper. It strikes the womb and not the heart. I know the spells you cast to be rid of me, the intent rebounding back to you, your magic sucked into the black hole you came from. I'll haunt you forever. This one kind of rides on that one's back. Truth serums have the demons purging from your full lips. I don't know what to say as I watch the liquid drip from your tongue, scorching the earth it falls on. I'm sorry for the blisters it will form for you, face scarred with smallpox, rivets. Magic never responded to your touch, and you grew angry when power grew inside me. Will you find me in the woods and search for a potion or a salve? Knock on my cottage door? I have a connection to the earth your hands will never understood, hooded, hoveled, and hunched from the lies that twisted your bones to tell. Your soul sold piece by piece, traded in for secrets. Not a price you wouldn't pay. No friend, thoughts, or body parts precious enough to be parted with. Softly I dabbed a pungent liquid from around your parted and parched lips. A creature only left behind, shriveled and sick. I have magic, but this goes beyond what I have to offer you. Nothing inside for it attach and bind to, a tooth with a deadened root. Unfastening the brooch that hold my cloak, draping it around your shrunken form, swallowed up until dust remains, held in kindness you could never see.
Thank you, Emma Rose. So, if you'll look out there on your table tonight, you might see some QR codes. And if you look over here at our beautiful little banner over here, you might notice some different words up there from what's usually up there. Tonight we're doing a fundraiser for Appalachian Community Relief. And if you haven't been following along with us on Instagram all week, which you should be, by the way, at Out Loud Huntsville, the reason we're doing this fundraiser is this nonprofit is a local nonprofit based in Western North Carolina. It was started in the wake of Hurricane Helene to help. Basically, it was neighbors helping neighbors. People needed food, clothes, diapers, medications, all sorts of things. So the founder, Allison, got together with some of her neighbors and started this nonprofit. And if you don't know me personally, you don't know that I spent 8 months in Western North Carolina last year through all of that. And we're doing this fundraiser to continue to support Western North Carolina in the wake of Hurricane Helene and let them know they're not forgotten about. So those QR codes on your table, that's going to link to their Amazon wish list where you can donate to them directly and buy stuff to fill their free store that they want for their community. We're also soliciting donations up here. The bucket's right over here behind us, where you can come find either me or Borka or Josh or someone at the end of the night, and we can work out how to get that done for you. So, with all that being said, our next reader up, you know him, you love him. Everybody give it up for Jason.
Why is he so hot?
This is about as new as any shit could possibly be. Untitled. Shrink says I'm getting better. Says I'm doing good. I want to believe her. Because for the first time in 6 months, I folded laundry the same day I washed and dried it. Remembered to call my mom. Finally got new tires. And this morning I drove past an armadillo, dead as is customary, and it sticks in my skull. On its back, wretched claws, seeking heaven, sticks in my skull like the girl from some bullshit elective who plucked a question like an apple and sunk her teeth into the air. If Van Gogh had antidepressants, would we have Starry Night? And it's a valid question, I guess, because I have all this Lexapro and more empty pages than I can count. And I asked the shrink once if the drugs would hurt my creative output. And she didn't say anything profound or even interesting. Instead, I sat the whole hour as she cut away at me piece by piece until I folded open like the paper snowflakes we decorated classrooms with in kindergarten. And I guess the answer is it doesn't matter. The psychiatrist is the natural predator of the brain-fucked poet, as is the Range Rover to the 9-banded armadillo. I got antidepressants and no Starry Night, but I guess I gotta make it.
Thank you, Jason. We got you too, buddy. So, another thing. So I want to give a quick thank you to Straight to Ale and the Speakeasy for allowing us to host this event for, I don't know, going on how long. It gives us an awesome space to come together, collaborate as poets, share our work, and speak out in trying times like this. So, thank you to Straight to Ale, and remember to tip your bartenders, please. Now give it up for our next reader, SJ.
There's a portal to Avalon here where the ceiling fans droop like sun-starved daisies, and one behind the bin on the corner of 9th Street and Allen's Cross. Once I found one behind a sleeping cat who gave me a wink when I looked twice. I found them in spider webs and in the crook of an ashen tree. Stranger places too. In water gathered into a pool on a manhole cover, someone painted a portal to Avalon in the O of a stop sign. I wonder if they knew, or if this doorway grew as the others crumbled. I found them on bridges and in anthills, after rains and before bitter frosts. Some tiny, like holes poked through leather, some wide enough to swallow a human whole. This wasn't supposed to be a scary story. It wasn't supposed to be about a haunted house, a haunted woods, or a cautionary tale for the little ones who try to fill deep and heavy footprints. It was supposed to be exciting. It was supposed to be expansive. It wasn't supposed to be a sweet little tragedy. It wasn't supposed to be the stone that broke the surface. It wasn't supposed to ripple out and die. But I've seen portals to Avalon in wreckage and in the eye of a storm. I've seen portals to Avalon in drops of spilt blood. I've seen portals to Avalon in the light, and I've seen portals to Avalon in the dark. They cut off my hands, both just below the wrists, the morning I scampered home, basket dangling from the crook of my arm, filled to the brim with the fruit of knowledge, the fruit of good, and the fruit of evil. They cut off my tongue when they saw it stained with the fruit's nectar. And there I heard her. They will always prefer you lame and mute, my angel sweet girl.
Thank you, SJ. So, a couple of you might have noticed these awesome t-shirts that Jason and I are wearing. You might be asking yourself, wow, Outlaw is really cool. I want to get one of those cool t-shirts. How do I do it? Well, we have this little thing called membership. And if you've got an extra $25 after donating to Appalachian Community Relief tonight, you can become a member and get one of these awesome t-shirts. But what else do I get if I become a member? I already come to Out Loud every month. Why should I become a member? Well, you also get access to our awesome community Discord. We have all sorts of things going on in there, like quarterly meetups. Workshops are getting announced in there. We're talking about them. Jason's pretty active in there all the time. And actually, coming up this April for National Poetry Month, Jason's going to be throwing a prompt into the Discord every day so everybody can work on it together and kind of collaborate, have a really awesome month of writing for everybody. So, speaking of awesome writing, everybody give it up for our next reader, Denko.
I also put myself kind of in the middle so I wouldn't have to read immediately, but it seems like my plan was foiled. Okay, this one is for my friends because I love them so much. Okay. There's an unseen force that pulled us all together, something so far beyond anything I can claim to be coincidence. This wasn't the cosmos, the moon, the universe. This was something stronger than the divine. Every moment we fought through, we did it to get to each other. I heard your calls from miles away and ran to you, and with feet bloodied and raw, one fed me, one dried tears, one helped me, one tended to the wounds, and finally I could rest. And finally I made it home. And then this one is also entitled, Suspended somewhere between the here and now, drifting slowly through the fingers of your outstretched hand, there I am, with constellations painted over my eyes, you have me. Oh, to be loved by you in the dead of night while the moon whispers sweet words over us, a witness to how we howl like wolves under the cover of shadow, staking our claim. You could swallow me whole and I would let you, unhinged jaw, and I would offer you my limbs. Oh, to be loved by you in the dead of night, your fingers pressed to the soft skin that sits at the hollow of my throat. Tender is my flesh, I whisper as you consume me. Oh, to be loved by you, oh, to be loved. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaking of members, I got my phone up here so I don't get this information wrong. We love supporting our members in everything they do here. Whether that's up here reading it out loud or if they've got other events going on in the community. One of said members is a regular who's not here tonight, Susan Guthrie. She has an event going on for the Writers Series, the 2025 Writers Series, Wednesday, March 26th at the Alabama Center for the Arts in Decatur at 6 p.m. She's going to be on stage giving a recital. So March 26th, mark that on your calendars. Let's all go out there and support Susan and her, reading at other events. And I'm talking over my words now. Everybody give it up for our next reader, Marshall.
Friends, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often totaled with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus had told you Caesar was ambitious. If it was so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously has Caesar answered it. Here am I to leave on Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all honorable men. Come I to speak at Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me, but Brutus says Caesar was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He had brought many captives home to Rome whom the general's coffers did fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When the poor had cried, Caesar had wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff.
You got it.
When the legions tried to, forgive me.
You're good.
When the Civil War came, who granted the legions their invitations? Was it Caesar or was it these honorable men? When you wake up each and every day, was it these honorable men, or do you still seek justice from your patrons? Each and every day, you wonder if these daggers stab you or your justice. It seems to me that the body that lay before me is my Pontifex Maximus that I lost yesterday. But it feels like I lost him today. See, those daggers that stabbed him in the back are the same daggers that steal justice from you. See, those daggers that stabbed him in the back are the same daggers that you wonder if, when you wake up tomorrow begging for your justice from each and every one of these honorable men, you wonder if those honorable men will ever be honorable to you.
Thank you, Marshall. And just so everybody knows, not a lot of people get up here and read from memory, so that was it really took something to do that. So let's hear it again for Marshall. So if you're out there and you're looking up at me and saying, Lucas Samuel, I have so much money. I donated to Appalachian Community Relief. I went and bought a membership. I bought another membership just because, and I bought one for my dog. And I still have money I want to do something with it. Well, I have another great place for you to use your money. Right over here, we have a beautiful little merchandise cart. We have all kinds of goodies over there. We have pens, stickers. We've got an anthology from last year that's got a bunch of amazing people that read at one of our many Out Loud events. And also, if you read tonight, you're going to be in the one for next year, too. But we've also got ones from previous years, and we've got amazing writers and readers and all of those copies. So come up here, buy one of every copy if you want, and then everybody give it up for our next reader, Beta Call. I might be terrible at reading handwriting. Is it Beth? Yes. No, I'm so sorry.
You're just giving me fucking material. I mean, I've been misgendered and I've been misnamed, but I don't think I've ever been falsely summoned in this decade. Usually it occurs somewhere in a misbegotten area, a rural area where they couldn't read the Latin either. Good evening, initiates and new members. To the Circle of the Sapphic Sisterhood, we're excited to be here for our monthly business meeting. Sister Superior Beth of the holder of the lamp infernal, Scion of the Black Waste, Springer of the Final Dawn, or as I know her, Mistress. We are grateful for the recent sacrifices. Please keep them coming. Unfortunately, the full staff can't be present today. Please send your thoughts and infernal prayers that they arrive here as they were planned to be this time. We're going to skip past news and go straight into prophecies. There is a wolf on the trampoline. Again. The path has run away. The path will be sorely missed. The concrete is screaming again. Concrete is swimming and screaming. Its voice is melting our brain. The body of God was found dead early this morning. It was found in a culvert just off Governor's Drive. The alleged deity known by some as Yahweh, Jehovah, money, sex, and just plain God will be commemorated in an intimate ceremony on Thursday. Family and friends of the former deity ask for privacy and discretion as they mourn their galactic loss of income. The hemorrhaging rises. These voices seek rebellion. The revolution is calling. Fear will stop. Pain will end. The glow sticks are organizing again. Fluid, adrift, untethered, unbound, aloft is escape, flight, pursuit, prison of youth, drawn and quartered, sacred ground, salt, plant and grow, air sex, roots never to be bound again.
Thank you, Beth. I wouldn't be hosting if I didn't mess up at least one person's name. I should also mention that one of the awesome things about Out Loud is that even if you can't be here, you can watch live on Facebook. We stream every open mic live on Facebook. And also, if you don't want to be streamed on Facebook for whatever reason, just let us know and we'll make sure to cut the stream for you. Speaking of readers, this next reader is a first-time reader, and we love first-time readers here, so everybody give it up nice and loud and proud for Sarah B.
Hi. I chose a short one entitled Strangers in a Smoke Circle. A heavy scent wafts through the air. Thank you so much. Thank you. Strangers in a smoke circle. A heavy scent wafts through the air. The night is chilly, but I feel warm from the inside. The haze of smoke makes you seem angelic, your soft hair blowing gently in the moonlit breeze. Your hand in mine feels gentle, cautious, like you believe I could vanish. The cacophony of your friends' laughter and Aerosmith drowns my mind's usual screaming. I am resurrected by the warmth I imagine a hibernating animal finds in the sun's rays. Perhaps the winter of my isolation has ended.
Let's hear it again for a first-time reader. And since we're about halfway through now, I'll go ahead and give you guys another reminder to tip your bartenders when you guys are here. They do a lot of awesome work for us, and they're really gracious to give us the space every month. So, one more thing. If after you've donated to Appalachian Community Relief, you become a member, your dog has a membership, you've gone up here and you bought every book that we have and all the notebooks that are really awesome and look like this, and you still have money left over that you want to do something with, we are also a nonprofit that needs some donations from time to time. Tonight, though, we want you to give it to Appalachian Community Relief, but if you just have a giant wad of cash burning a hole in your pocket, we'll take a little bit of it too. So, everybody give it up for your next reader, Victoria W.
Alright, so these are both on a subject that I kind of resisted reading aloud because it just feels so cliche, but I just turned 30, so these are about my mom. First one's called Contradiction. You said you never cried for me, stayed up all night long. You assumed that I was fine, but prophets don't get it wrong. I felt like a failure, believed your lies. I sobbed at night, but your face was dry. How could you not tell I was hurt? I went to the trees for company, to the darkness for peace, to stories for meaning, to music for release, but you were no comfort. You wept for orphans far away, the lost without the light, for all who flattered you with trust, told you you were right. Your pride is so deep-rooted. I've left your chosen path for me, to wander in the wild. Now I'm the lost apostate one, the angry wayward child. Of course you're persecuted. Now cry out to your God, if it helps you sleep at night. Beg him, take my offering to a popcorn ceiling sky. Yeah. Next one is The Song She'll Never Hear. I want to sit on your lap and be small again and safe, but there's too much of me now. I don't fit into you anymore. I don't even feel your absence. I knew when you called me cold, and I didn't mind. I just want someone to know me, somebody know me, because you never did. And now you'll never even hear this song. You say you love me, Somehow I believe you. Now believe me when I say you hated me too. You begged to be let in, then laughed when I cracked the door. Now the curtains are drawn, and we only talk on the porch. Your part of my heart is cold like a wall, so when you go, will I miss you at all? I'll be as motherless as I've always been. All chance is gone, but they were gone then.
Thank you, Victoria. I think it's a pretty universal experience for poets to write poems about their parents. So we're going to keep on chugging along. We've got another first-time reader, so everybody give it up loud again for Ash.
This is called Succession. There is a building in my town that once was a mall. The parking lot is cracked, familiar like a desert or a mud flat in a drought. A line of dead leaves blows across the parking lot, tumbles all in a line, shepherded by the November wind. There is a mountain in Georgia that once was a quarry. The stone is cracked, scarred, dark and hot under the August sun. Lichens crawl across the stone surface, their pace sedate, imperceptible, unlike the mall's leaves. Slow but present, persistent. I think of primary succession. I do not think humans are inherently bad. We are all just trying to survive. Sometimes we go about it in the wrong way. When I left, I thought flowers would spring up like magic, transfiguring the xeric land, new nature needing casual nurture. The seed packs claimed, easy, light, sun, and water. But a lifelong drought does not make fertile ground, and leaving raises what stubborn dandelions had tried to push through the cracks. Do you know how long it takes lichen to soften the stone man has roughly chiseled away, to turn rock to red dirt? Do you know the old structure must decompose for the garden to sprout to life? Decomposition is painful. Succession is slow. But sometimes, on strange, warm November days, a line of dry brown leaves will tumble through, a forerunner on a new wind. And one day, the dandelions will bloom in the pavement cracks. And this time, they won't be alone. The cacti will drink the light, and the insects will revel in the newborn dirt. And the garden will still call for light, sun, and water.
Thank you, Ash. Everybody, let's give it up one more time for a first-time reader. Okay, we're going to do a real quick announcement rundown because I've thrown a lot at you guys tonight. So first, donate to Appalachian Community Relief. Scan the QR code on your table and donate to their Amazon wish list. Become a member, get a membership for your dog. Come up here, buy an anthology, buy a notebook. Go see Susan Guthrie on March 26th. We'll be posting more information about that on our social medias, especially Instagram at Out Loud Huntsville. You should be following it if you aren't already. And let's all give it up for our next reader. You know her. I'm going to go ahead and give a trigger warning for everybody for her. It's Maya.
Actually, specifically was going to say I wrote one not about my trauma. The other day at Gold Sprint, which I'm there like every day, they were playing only funk music, and that's like all my friends and I listened to in the car in high school. So I wrote one about that. It's kind of a sibling to another piece I read, which was very upsetting. My sisters bought clementines. Clementines and Takis and Arizona iced teas, the ones with cherry blossoms printed on the cans. Bought them at the corner store and paid the man behind the bulletproof glass and a handful of coins. I am peeling clementines in the half-broken down car with my bare feet up on the dash and the windows down, and we are driving too fast on the winding, hilly streets. I pass half of a clementine to her in the back seat, split one section off and hold it to your lips to eat while your hands are on the steering wheel. I bite into my own piece, mouth filling with the sharp sweet of citrus, examine the neatly lined up vesicles of orange flesh remaining, the fuzzy white hairs dancing on the edge of the skin. We catch air as we crest the hill, scream, the peels of the clementines fall off the dash, into my lap and out the window, and they are bright against the hot black asphalt, and I am laughing, and the air is heavy, and the leaves turn gold in evening sun. Tomorrow, when we walk back down this street, our feet bare, bodies wrapped in daisy chains, books and blankets and bottles in our arms, we will pass by the peels, and their orange will be obscured by a swarm of flies and the orderly marching of ants. But now we have many hours ahead of us before it is dark, and the house my sisters and I live in is empty. I call them my sisters, though none of us are related, and the house is only the home of one of us. We will spend those hours lying naked on a rooftop, watching the shapes smoke makes against the hard summer sky. When the sun goes down, the air will be still, thick with the sounds of cicadas singing heavy under the blanket of night, starless with the city light. We will make wishes on those few pinpricks which can penetrate such pollution, most of them likely wasted on a misidentified Venus. We are damp with sweat and sunscreen and the sticky juice of clementines, and when we go inside, we will bathe together. Our bodies pressed against each other in the bathtub, our sheer volume requiring very little water. We fill the bathtub and our glasses with bubbles, and the alcohol we drink is too sweet, cheap and sugary, and coats our tongues in a thin film. You wash my hair and I wash hers, and she washes yours, and our movement to create that cramped circle splashes water onto the floor, filling the divots between the tiles. Your fingers are strong as they move across my scalp, slipping between the wind-tangled strands and combing them out. Her hair is short and soft, and her eyes close and head tilts back when my thumbs rub circles just below her temple, just behind her ears. When I dip my head beneath the water to rinse the shampoo from my hair, I open my eyes and all I can see is flesh, the soft, soap-blurred shapes of our stomachs and breasts. When we get out, we will lie in bed together, lose ourselves in the lumpy old mattress and the many overstuffed pillows and long hand-down comforters. We will fall asleep in each other's arms, our weight pressing the living into each other, wake with dawn, our mouths full of cotton and the taste of clementines. Thank you.
Thank you, Maya. We all love poems about simpler times, especially in this day and age if you pay attention to the news at all. There's a lot of announcements. I don't want to do another recap for you guys because that would feel like a lot. So I'm giving our next reader a little bit of time because I know he knows who's next. I'm going to say hi, Facebook. Hi, Kimberly. I hope you're watching this. It's going to be real awkward if you aren't. We'll bring it up in the meeting. Give it up for your next reader, Charlie.
Automatically knew I was going to have to do that. Thank you all. This first poem is called Trails in Nature. Trails in nature have been constant teachers to me. In Schumann's Grove, I listened to the wind flow around the ancient bristlecone pines. At Yosemite Falls, I found revels in music on warm granite at midday. On the ridges of Mount Lemmon, I sat in the surviving oaks from a 2003 fire. I saw the Western Divide from atop Morro Rock and made friends with a stranger. On Oregon Needle, I found heat exhaustion and elevation sickness make poor traveling companions on sun-baked silt. Luckily, I had good friends and excess water to make it down that day. Lessons learned, not all is temporary, that you can find joy, beauty, and new friends in unexpected places, that we can all use support when the trail becomes too much. This one's called The Joy of Dancing with My Friends. We're moving just behind the beat, bodies creating a conversation, silent but still heard. Push and pull, call and response, a single movement by two composers. In a turn, I give momentum, and on the catch, energy returns to me. An exchange of forces and compression, a silent expression of the joy of moving in an ancient art. A translation of deeper meaning by two bodies meeting. In the grooves, our bodies relax, and one pulse we move together. A perfect harmony to see. A handful of moments pass me by, and we leave the dance floor empty, but our hearts are lighter and full of joy for this simple meeting.
Golly, Charlie, you're tall. Lots of poems about friends tonight. Man, I'll tell you what, I think that's appropriate given everything going on. Friends and neighbors, we need to be supporting each other in times like this. And speaking of neighbors, I'm going to come back to it again. Our neighbors up in Western North Carolina. Appalachian Community Relief, specifically them, their slogan is Neighbors Helping Neighbors. So remember, you've got that QR code in front of you, or you can come find me or Borka or one of us up here at the front tonight and talk to us about making a donation to Appalachian Community Relief. So, let's give it up for another one of our friends and neighbors. Everybody, put your hands together for Izzy.
Hello. I have two poems tonight. They're pretty short. The first one is called Turmoil 2. The rough combination of two souls. People who believe they are each other's best, also realizing they're the worst of one another. Wanting to join into one like two pieces of leather being threaded together. One soul trying to love, yet only sending shivers down the spine of the one they claim to love. In the name of protection, it's only possession. Pain is care, turmoil is love. The other soul, knowing they should run from the fox, getting caught in the slyness behind it all. In the name of being loved, it's only obsession. Love is terminal, care is pain. Both souls, knowing their moths drawn to the flame, thinking it would have been worth it only to be burned. In desperation, they try dragging themselves away with bare hands, only to be drawn in like quicksand. The second one is called Starfish. Maybe we're starfish, two beautiful creatures who have more to them than most would know. Each part of us is an intricate point and curve within and outside of ourselves. Maybe that's why we seem to find we meld together so well, why we lay against each other. People awing at us, telling us we're made for one another. We're also starfish for another reason. Just like there's more to us than they know, the outside doesn't always seem what it is. Each time we lay against each other, each time we put the intricate parts of each other together, one of us will always steal nutrients from the other, sucking the life out of the other in benefit for one.
Thank you, Izzy. So this next transition is going to be real easy because I don't have to come up with something to talk about because your next reader is me. So I'll give you guys a little bit of background. My friends call me Lucas. Professionally, I'm known as Samuel, but you can call me your host for the evening. But if you don't, I know it was bad, okay? If you don't know me, I spent 8 years as part of an or not 8 years, 8 months. 8 months as part of an AmeriCorps team based out of Asheville, North Carolina last year. And immediately after Hurricane Helene hit and devastated the area, I deployed on an AmeriCorps disaster response team to the area. During my time doing that, my off time, I would go out and volunteer with Appalachian Community Relief. That's how I got in contact with the people there. It's the whole reason we're doing this fundraiser, because it's something that I really believe in, and I think it mirrors the message of this community here, friends and neighbors helping each other. And so this is a poem that I wrote about that time. It's called Blue Ridge Hymn, a work in progress. A month after the storm, I watch as a man who shares the sound of my last name collects the waterlogged memories of his wife and son that he lost too many tragedies ago. And he tells me through the sound of overhead Chinooks, he's unsure if there's ever even a point in being around for the next one. A month after the storm, on a cloudy morning over a cold hotel breakfast, I hold the hand of a mother and listen to her as she tells me how she explained to her daughter why Mr. and Mrs. Johnson from down the road were sleeping in their front yard for 5 days straight. A month after the storm, the muddy water line still stains the leaves and branches above our heads and closed eyelids in our rooms at night. I can no longer hear the birds, so I buy a guitar, but there is no one in the streets downtown who can teach me to sing. A month after the storm, I drive through clouds of toxic dust, past lots of empty hope, and step over the rubble of dreams on my way to a donation center, where a neighbor with tired eyes wears a neon vest and does not ask me who I'm voting for. They just ask for a helping hand. Now this is awesome because I can stay up here. But those sentiments are why we're doing this fundraiser for Appalachian Community Relief. There's natural disasters everywhere. Y'all know we had some pretty gnarly storms that hit around here over the weekend. But Western North Carolina and a hurricane like that was not something they were prepared for. It was something that wasn't supposed to happen up there. And it's a continuing reflection of how different things and the weather is changing and affecting our world. So those people up there still need help. They're still trying to rebuild. I was up there this past weekend, and some areas are looking better, but some areas are looking the same as they were the day after the storm. And it's going to take a long time for them to rebuild. So please donate. Come up here, talk to one of us afterwards. Donate to the Amazon link. And then give it up for your next reader, Sam.
I thought I had more time than that. Yeah, so I'm 34 now, and recently, I've kind of realized that over the past few years, my heart has been getting harder, slowly, and I don't like that. I used to be so warm and so open, and I was like, well, you know what? I used to be so warm and so open and out loud. I used to write all the time, and I don't write anymore. And I thought, maybe I'll read an old poem, which is all I read anymore now. And maybe if I read an old poem that I don't think is any good anymore, but that I really loved when I was in my 20s, which I now consider being a child, maybe I can get back there. So, I'm going to give it a shot. This is a painting of sunlight. Every stray electron bouncing from lip to lip, strange ions forging the battery of our mouths, we flooded the room with iridescent glow. The moon pulled at our crashing breaths through the window shade, the blind hunger of that great rock lifting them to origin. Of course it was spring. But there was a tremor in your gaze, and my hands, alive within the mystery of your dusky fabrics, were perhaps too cautious. I caught my breath between my teeth. I am among the very few people I mistrust, and everything is one kind of fiction or another. And then the manic scrabble, the scab pitched to a gash, the nagging specter that settled like a hex in my mind. Why do I ask such useless questions? But we buried our disappointments. And again there was a table between us, and drinks, and the night swam back to us and burrowed into our ribs. The tips of your ears were peeking through that silky hair, catching the sheen of the patio lamp. The sight made me giddy, and I thought then about how your nose is shaped exactly like your laugh. Fingering the stem of your glass, you parted your thin, stately lips to suggest, I'm feeling tipsy. Your dress was a low, welcoming hum, and the light that dripped from your dimples pooled in its thrilling folds. We left in separate cars. It was days later, an opaque, dawnless dawn, I realized your simple, dark science, that ember now quenched in ash. I remember once, I wrote a poem about your smile. It felt sweet to write, and I believe I meant it. But I'm always writing poems, and my gestures sometimes are bigger than my love. I'm not sure if this is an ode or an exorcism. You might unbraid like candle smoke and snuff this tired seance in my throat if I could only stop tonguing the ulcer, stop digging through the wreckage, searching for anything at all to join to this one whole, holy memory of in our unraveled tapestry of almost. It is a Saturday in April, before we return to your apartment, before we spread ourselves ravenous over your couch, before your brother comes home, adjourning discreetly the swell of our evening. We have lost ourselves in the museum, and in the hush, it is as though we are at last speaking the same language. You glide to me and lay your cheek on my shoulder, the warmth of you slipping itself around me, and we stand there for a while, breathing in the day, draping our content gazes across a painting of sunlight as it falls through the trees lying in cobblestone road. Our bodies sing the same silent chorus, and golden fingers of afternoon pour in upon us. My arm on your waist, moored in one true moment.
Thank you, Sam. Good to see you again, man. A hardened heart. I think that's something that all of us are trying to fight against currently. Lots of poems about simpler times tonight. That's one of the great things about poetry is it can transport you to whatever time, whatever place you want to be. And now for our next reader, it's another special treat. Everybody give it up for Josh.
So I wasn't going to read tonight, but two reasons why I'm up here. One, I'm tipsy.
Cat sweater!
Thank you. This is my cat, by the way. This is Toasty. Two, our host, Lucas, made the offhand joke earlier that half of Out Loud is style, and I'm positively dripping tonight, so...
Yeah, you are.
This is called Skin. It's a poem I wrote about 8 years ago at a workshop. It is about a white bonnet that has lamb ears on it. Don't ask, it'll make sense, maybe. I don't know. People think that I measure my worth with a leather sole, that I am set behind a brush upper facade over some Argyle affair crossing in and out of the darker corners of my wardrobe. People think that I feel most at home behind a cabled sweater with ridges deep enough to shade my being. But it's not my shoes, not my sweaters, nor my socks. My skeleton is a herd of sinews I've spun and waxed on my tongue. It is the cap I keep hidden behind the luxury, the white wool bonnet with short little ears, the sheep in my dreams. I count myself to stay in line, but my brethren drove my sheep, our wolves, preying on one another, hate wisps knit into quarrels never resolved, a careful litany to younger days, tightly wound in fleece, looking up to the stars through the monoliths of older minds. And every time I slip the matted wool over my head and tie the yellowed ends beneath my chin, I remember that I am those wolves. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. He's right. Out Loud is like 50% a fashion show. You guys think I wear a cowboy hat and a leather vest on the daily? Don't say anything. Well, we're almost at the end of the night. We've got 2 more readers coming up. And with this next reader, it's another one of our most fashionable people here at Out Loud. Everybody give it up for Grace.
Tonight is the first time that I realized I'm older than Sam. I'll have to think about it. So, 4 years ago, I was living in Australia, and it was the middle of the pandemic.
And it was very different than it was here in the US, and I wrote a lot of poems then, and I was going through my drafts recently, and I found 2. And I thought, dang, I could have written those last week. So I thought I would read them tonight. This first one is called Recipe for Indigestion. Equal parts incessant scrolling and comment diatribes. Several heaped cups of conversation brewed in echo chambers. 1 teaspoon of dialogue sifted until fine. You should not be able to taste it. Dough should be colorless and smooth. Bake until dry and bitter. Serve with wine or spirits. Chew until your tongue hurts. Retreat to a quiet room. Lie down, hands over eyes. Sigh deeply. Sleep it off. For best results, avoid substitutions. Any deviation could cause something akin to graciousness, worst of all the virtues, rearing her head at the first sign of kindness or patience or curiosity. Best to stick to the recipe. Pass it down to your children, their children. Generations of sickliness until we are gray and tired and wasted. This world was not built for pleasure. If it were, don't you think someone would have recorded the recipe? This is called We Have Done Something Very, Very Wrong. We read the news and cry into our coffee, our cereal, our toast. We shout into echo chambers built like panic rooms. We are fragments of thoughts and prayers, every good intention rising up like a smoking gun, but all that is left are bodies caked in residue. A list of books now banned grows like weeds, unwilling to be uprooted. God forbid any new idea give us richer soil or open our minds up like sunflowers in bloom. God forbid bullets fly out of dog-eared pages and tear out our hearts. We practice hope like taking training wheels off bicycles, and before we know it, we are covered in kisses and bandages, bruised and battered and too scared to try again. The smoke billows so thick we can't tell day from night, and we sleep fitfully, each of us a newborn needing near constant affection just to feel safe. We wake with bated breath. We fly dreams like kites, like flags at half-mast. We send for a seamstress to stitch up our tattered souls. She uses mismatched thread so we can see where the mending is. And we see that we all have the same holes, the same hopes, the same patches holding us together. Thank you.
I got a memory on my Facebook the other day. 5 years ago, last week, for a lot of people, was when the world shut down. 5 years ago, guys, and we're here now. You know, here as community, all in the same room, which some of us never thought we would be again, raising money for Appalachian Community Relief. Speaking of Facebook, our next reader does not want to be streamed live on Facebook, so we're going to go ahead and say bye, Facebook.